What's going on, everybody? This is episode 2 of the 10 C's of Survival. In episode 1, we did the cutting tools and combustion. On this episode, we're going to do cordage and cover. I just want to say one more time, like I did in the beginning, this isn't a concept or an idea that is mine. It's something that's been established, but I believe that it's information that needs to get out there. It's a foundation for your survival in the wilderness, something that I believe you should have on you at all times while out in the backcountry, and something that you should probably keep in your car at all times. So we'll get right into it. It's the 10 C's of Survival, episode 2. We're going to do cordage and cover. So we'll dig right into what I brought up to show you. The one thing that you guys seen before, because some of my combustion was in it, was this orange Cordura bag that I keep on me. And inside this bag, this is what I have on me at all times, whether it's a hike, overnights, whatever it is my cordage. So I'll pull out some of the different cordage that I keep on me, and I'll show you some other different things here. So one thing I have here is some number 36 tarred bank line. I always have the 550 cord, but if you look at this, this is the tarred bank line. It has a breaking strength of over 200 pounds. This is twice the amount of linear feet as this 550 cord. So this stuff is really great. It's number 36 tarred banking line. So I have some of that on me. I always have my 550 cord. A couple different bundles of 550 in here. The tarred bank line, I broke into some 25-foot pieces, and this is a 50-foot run of the tarred bank line. Just to give you an idea, this is 25 feet of 550 cord. This is 50 feet of the tarred bank line. The usuals that you'll see all the time is the 550 cord. It's great stuff. It's rot resistant. It's got a great working load. It's got a great test braking strength. I use that for most of my stuff. The tarred bank line's new to me. I've been watching a couple gentlemen on YouTube, and it's something that I haven't really had much experience with, but the little bit that I've used it and what I've seen, I'm really going to enjoy carrying it because I can carry more for less. And what I did bring with me was the whole bunk of it. I got just under 500 feet for about $10 on Amazon. Now I'm spending about $8 for 100 feet of 550 cord. So for a couple dollars more, I'm getting almost 400 feet more of this material, and it's going to do almost everything I can do with 550 cord. Like I said, these are your basics, your foundation. So cordage goes so far in so many ways. I'm sitting right next to my shelter at the spot. None of that would have been accomplished without cordage or cover. There are natural ways to do most of these things in the 10 C's, but what this is items you should be carrying with you to cover your basics at all times, hiking, in your car, camping, fishing, anytime you spend time in the backcountry, or if you go on long drives in the backcountry. So these are items that you should have on you. If I had to make cordage naturally, there's a lot of ways to do that. I don't want to get into those in this video. It's the same with the last. There's natural ways I could have started a fire, but these are things you're going to keep on you. So the cordage goes a long way. Strapping down your tarps, repairing your gear. The inside of the 550 cord breaks down into 7 different strands. If you have a sail needle on you and your strap ripped on your backpack, you could repair your backpack enough to get out, probably repair it to continue your journey. The uses for cordage, I mean, you could probably think of 10 right off the top of your head right now. My main use is for building shelters, for lashing branches together, for putting up ridge lines, for tarps, for strapping down the tarps, for staking things down. You can do traps, snares, all sorts of things you can do with cordage. Cordage is an absolute, in my opinion, necessity, and that's why it's part of the 10 C's. All right, so let's get into cover. Now you have your run-of-the-mill everyday tarps. Some people they go with a treated canvas. That's keeping it really old school, and it's great stuff. You're less likely to burn holes in it, but it's heavy. So really, when it comes down to what you want for cover, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you are not planning on spending a night, but you just want to have some emergency cover with you in case a storm comes through, in case you spend the night, there's one thing I don't have on me that covers that really well, and that's a military rain poncho. Not only can you wear it to cover yourself personally, but you can lash it out for a very small shelter. Another thing I picked up here, and it was pretty cheap at Walmart, and it fits in this small cinch sack. What is that, maybe 4x6? And it's a 5x7 sil nylon tarp. Not super expensive. The grommets aren't the best. You know, you may end up having to repair that. But this little tarp doesn't weigh much, and you can throw this in your day packer in the back of your car, and you've got a 7x5 tarp. That's enough to get your body underneath to keep you from being exposed to the rain or the elements. You can make a doable shelter with a 5x7. What I have here is a very lightweight. It's a little bit bigger. This is a nicer sil nylon tarp. Scrunches right down into this sack. I could compress this a little more. The reason why I'm keeping it in this bag is because it's got a netting on the side, so if you put your tarp away moist, it's not going to rot as fast before you can get home and dry it out. Now this one is a 7x9 ripstop tarp. It's a cheap one also by Stan Sports. You can get better ones. All this stuff comes down to how often are you going to use it and what kind of money do you want to spend. I do have plans on buying some better ones for some longer backpacking trips. But this one would do the trick, and this one's 7x9. This is enough to put up a ridge line above a camping hammock and do yourself a nice A-frame above your hammock. And then there's always, like I said, your run-of-the-mill tarps. This one is just your nylon tarp. I got this one at Harbor Freight, I believe, for $4. If I remember correctly, this is a 10x10. I could be wrong. But as you could see in a lot of my videos, I've just used the blue Walmart tarps. You can get them for $7. They are really susceptible to burn holes from sparks from your fire, but at the same time you get 6-7 uses out of them for $7. I believe that's worth your money. I actually really like these ones from Harbor Freight. They're lighter, they're bulky, but this is really light. This slides right down into the back of my backpack. I don't even know it's there. So you've got a lot of options for cover, including the rain poncho. All right, so like I said, these videos are going to be pretty quick. They're not going to go into a lot of detail, and they're just your basics. So today we covered cordage and cover. Got the bank line, which I'm really starting to dig. Newer to it. I've always been a 550 guy, but the bank line, your bang for your buck, how much you're getting. I mean, I took 100 feet off of this, and I paid, I think, less than $10. I believe it was like $8.99. You've always got your 550 cord, tried and true. Love it. Love doing 550 cord stuff. But the cordage in general, even if you had to get your hands on just whatever you could. I know at the dollar store right now they have some there it is. They got jute twine at the dollar store. And jute twine's good because it's multi-purpose. Not only can you lash stuff together, it's not very strong, you're gonna have to do a few wraps, but it's also a really good fire starter. And like I mentioned in the first one, a lot of these 10Cs they intertwine. But you've got jute twine. I mean, anything you can get your hands on. If it's a true emergency and you don't have anything and you got to get a tarp up, I mean, there's a lot of things you could use on your clothing, your shoelaces. I mean, emergency is an emergency. But this is to cover you in an emergency. This is something that if you had on you, you don't have to compromise another piece of equipment to maintain your safety, your survival. So we got the cordage of some sort. The bank line's great. 550 cord is always good. You can get rolls of the jute at the dollar store, cheap enough. Tarps, depends on what you spend and what kind of weight you're dealing with. This big old tarp actually really doesn't weigh that much. It takes up some room. The 5x7 weighs absolutely nothing, that you could throw in and forget about, but if you ever needed it, it's there. The rain poncho is always an option. And then you can get some bigger, nicer sill nylon tarps. There's a 9x7 ripstop. Same material as the outside of the bag here. So, with that said, I think that'll be the end of that. All right, so that should cover it. A lot of these are very self-explanatory, but as we go through the 10 C's, you'll see that the combination of the 10 items are your foundation for your ability to survive in adverse situations or emergencies. So, cordage, cover. All right. The next one, episode 3, we'll be covering containers and candlelight. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching as always. God bless. Stay safe out there and really get out and enjoy the outdoors. Thank you for watching.